ערב טוב, אחר צהריים טובים, כאן אורלי בר-קימה בתוכנית חדשה של השראה מעשית, לכבוד יום האישה הבינלאומי. אני שמחה וגאה היום לארח אישה מדהימה, אוסטרלית, שחיה בארצות הברית כיום, עובדת עם נשים ומעצימה נשים, שמה רייצ'ל ג'יין גרובר. אני אציג אותה עכשיו באנגלית ואותי באנגלית, ותהיו איתנו, תהנו מהשידור, תשאלו שאלות, אנחנו נשמח לענות לכם. So, hi, good evening, Rachel, and thank you very much for being with us here on the Practical Inspiration Show.
It's a very good morning here in Colorado.
Oh, yeah, it's morning in your time. Now we're in the afternoon here in Israel. And I'm very, very honored and pleased that you were able to be with us and join us. This is a special interview that I asked you to do for the Women's International Day, which is next Tuesday, a week from now. And since you are a women's leader and you lead women and empower women all over the world, and this is a topic that is very close to my heart because I do it here in Israel. And I love to introduce you in English in a few words, and then we will start the interview so everybody can benefit from my talk.
Wonderful.
So Rachael Jayne Gruber, just one second. She's an author of the best-selling book, Powerful and Feminine, How to Increase Your Magnetic Presence and Attract the Attention You Want. Very powerful title. And you are a singer and a songwriter in Australia. And I know you have been struggling with a few shadows of yourself, and we would like to hear about them in a few minutes. And you did some magic in your life. And now, after a few years after, you are, as I said, a woman. You lead seminars for women for empowerment all over the world. And you run a multi-million dollars business, doing so and succeeding, and a public speaker. And you teach people how to stand in front of audience and be themselves and take their power with them. So I would like to hear from you, what was it that shaped you? I know you were born in Australia and you were a singer and you were a few pounds more than you are now.
Quite a few.
And you have transformed your life and made them better, and not only for yourself, now you're doing it for millions of people all over the world. So I would love to hear your personal story and how you got to do what you are doing today.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, when I was back in Australia, that's my home country, about 12 years ago, I was really needing a big change. I was not that happy, even though I was singing a lot and performing a lot, and I'd always loved that. But it just was feeling like there's got to be something more than just entertaining people, for entertainment's sake. And I really wanted to, more inspire and change people's life. And that I realized that only happens through education and through changing patterns versus just having a one-hit night. Oh, that was lovely. Or, a one hour talk or something. And so I wanted to make that shift. And at the same time, I was also really trying to figure out why I was always single. And I had been single pretty much my whole life, very few opportunities to date or anything. I was like, what is going on here? I'm not stupid. I'm not ugly. I'm not crazy. There must be something going on. And through that process and moving to America was sort of to escape, and you can never really escape from yourself, can you?
Yes. The only thing that we have is ourselves.
Absolutely. So I really discovered through books and inquiry at that time about the feminine essence, and that I had disconnected from that a lot even though I might have looked feminine on the outside, I really wasn't embodying that or having that inside, which is the most attractive force in a woman if she's going to be seen and be heard and attract the attention of a mate or of clients. And as I started doing that work, I became my own guinea pig and sort of was like, I knew presence had to do with the voice, with my singer days. I knew it had to do with the body and the feminine. And so I started sort of putting it all together and like practicing with a few friends. Like, what if we did this, and then we walked into a room? What would happen? And what if we did this and we'd walk into a networking group? And things changed like within days and have continued to with these specific practices that, you know, we teach all over now. And
how long did it take you to make that shift from being a singer and doing, you know, I believe a work that you loved, but feeling that you're not satisfied and you're not making the impact that you want to do, to being who you are now?
Well, I moved to America about 12 and a half years ago. So the large story is that, but the short story is, you know, I was pretty clear. Like after I wanted to shift from music, I did it within a year. Like I'm like, I am done. So that shift was done. But when I got to America, all these people were telling me, do what you love and the money will follow. You know, just really have faith in that. And it didn't follow. I took the leap of faith like a lot of people do, and I crashed and burned. I mean, it was a long time until I realized how you run a business, how you know, get yourself noticed. You know, that takes a while. And so I'd say the first 6 years of that 12 and a half was me floundering. I was doing no training, education. I had no mentor. I didn't know what I was doing.
So you were following your intuition, would you say?
I was following my intuition, thinking it was my intuition, and maybe just trying to do what I could do. We call it throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. You know, like, oh, I'll try this. Oh, that didn't work. Well, I'll try this. I'll do this workshop. Well, that didn't work. And I just had no mentorship or understanding of the business. I think I was good at what I was doing, but so many women have that problem. They're either good at business and they're draining themselves. They are overworking. They are burnt out. They're unhappy because they haven't balance the side of their personal growth work. And a lot of women that I work with have done a lot of personal growth work, but they just don't understand business, marketing, promotion, and they're scared of it because I'm a spiritual person. I'm not that person. And I realized the hard way, you have to have both. And you don't have to have one with, you know, letting the other go. You know, you need to have that yin yang.
Yeah, sometimes we think, you know, that we can have either this or that. We don't think that everything is, we are entitled to get both. So either I was a journalist for 15 years here in Israel, using all my masculine energy and fighting to be first and to succeed. And I did it for 15 years until I really wore out. Until 12 years ago, I said, something is wrong. Something is not going the way that I want. And then I made my shift. So it really resonates with me, what are you saying? Because I also meet many women and they don't know how to make the connection between their femininity and between being a businesswoman and between being, you know, powerful, because they conceive themselves if I am powerful, maybe people will be afraid of me. So what would you say to them?
Yeah, I think that power can be intimidating, but when it is embodied and when it comes from your feminine and it's from an authentic place and you're not trying to project power, it's not that intimidating. And so we have to understand what it is to project our power and to just be so comfortable in our own skin that we are powerful. And what I've noticed is anytime I or I'm working with a woman projects, people pull back, whether it's through intimidation or like, I don't really get her. You know, I don't really trust her. And this woman is a trustable, lovely, awesome person, but she's trying to like, I am really strong. And as soon as we come home into our body and rest that power in our body, I have found my experience is the more powerful I get, the less intimidating I am.
So you say that the secret of being powerful and feminine lies in embodying your power. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Exactly. Versus, you know, projecting it out. So when we project it out, it's like energetically, it's like our power starts here, you know, like a foot outside our body, and we're trying to send a signal that I am this amazing, successful, competent person.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happens, where it's not coming from your own vertical place, I think of it as the signal is going wonky. The signal is not clear. People aren't able to pick you up of how you actually are. But if the signal is coming from your vertical core, through your heart, through what we call the womb space, dantian, and it's coming from that place, and I'm not trying to project it, it's like the signal of who I am is clear, and I don't even have to do anything.
It's inside you.
It's inside me. So I'll just give you a little example, and people who are watching can see it happen, right? So I'll go into, you know, more projection. Hi, Orly, how are you? I'm so glad to be here today. This work has taken us all over the world. It's so amazing to be able to support women and empower them to really be their best and to inspire change. And it's just been such a blessing, right? You can feel the...
You're pushing it.
Voice or whatever. Now if I can come back in and everybody can just take a breath and come back, feel your body. Let your breath sink down into your belly and to feel your heart. And then I can just talk from you there and I can say, hi, Orly, it's so good to be here. And you know, I am blessed that I get to travel the world, you know, meeting so many amazing women. And so it's not about me pulling back my power and not saying how amazing my life is, or, you know, hiding my light under a bushel, but something happens when it's coming more from my internal place and I don't have to project it out.
So if I understand what you're saying right, you're saying don't do women, just be a woman inside. It's in the being that we feel this power, not in doing and talking and taking it out, but taking it in. This is the secret.
Exactly. Because there's 44 practices in the Art of Feminine Presence work. So there's a lot of things that I'm doing when I get on stage or when I walk into a new room. I know I'm doing it. They're physical things, energetic, emotional, you know, things. But if I'm doing that, I notice everyone's attention on me, whether they know who I am or not. And so it isn't about the words. It's about the energy. So it is being, but I think a lot of women who are on a spiritual path, they hear that term a lot, just be. And they're like, I am being, like, but nothing's happening, you know, and you get frustrated. So you've got to do things, but it's the energy and the presence that you're doing them with. Right? It's the energy and the presence that you're doing them with that will make all of the difference.
So how come, when you go, I go to many lectures and I meet many people who are giving talks, and some of them, they grab you immediately and you can't pull your eyes and your ears from them. They just grab you inside their stories, and they have this powerful presence. And some of them, it's nice to hear them. Maybe their story is interesting, but after, 10 minutes, you got the thing and you can move on.
Absolutely. And that's like it in online, right? And anyone who's got an online business who's trying to get attention for their work, it's hard. We can click out of this interview as quickly as anything. It's harder to walk out of a lecture, but so it's a very important thing of how women can learn what is it that makes that shift. And there's 6 things. I don't know if you want me to go over the 6 key areas.
Yeah, I would love to know. The show is called Practical Inspiration. So we want inspirational stories, but we need to be practical because we are still here in the physical body, and we need to do our work in the physical body. So come on.
Exactly. So there's 6 key areas that the Art of Feminine Presence work is built on. That's not 6. The body, so being in your body and how your body is moving. So someone at a lecture that you see, they might be very still, but they're very in their body, or they're taking up their space. And another person might be really animated. It doesn't matter. But it's a difference between being in your body and animated and being out of your body in what I call the head bubble and just sort of talking.
Mm-hmm.
Second key area is your energy and understanding how your energy moves inside and in your aura, or in your energetic
aura.
And we are always in a place of repelling someone or attracting. We're never in the middle. Like that saying, you're either growing or dying. It's like you're either or you're oh yeah. And we want to be in a place of attracting what we want and who we want and repelling who we don't. And so there's some key things that you can do in your energy that if I'm attracting someone I don't want, they will just move away so quickly and I don't have to do anything to guard, right? And I know how to be in a room, and I might even be in the audience, and I want the attention of that person. And I am just sitting in the audience doing these energetic practices, and they always come back to me, right? Like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
So it's in the breathing and in the holding of the body.
Yeah, and so with the energetic, it is being in your whole vertical core. So I'm tuning in with, am I in my body, but am I in my heart? Can I feel the energy of my heart? Can I feel the energy of my womb space? Can I feel the energy of my will? So I'm working the energetic system all the way up, chakra system. But I'm also in this field outside of me. What creates magnetic presence is I'm expanded, but I'm contained. I'm expanded, but I'm contained. And women either they shrink when attention's on them, get small, apologize, so their energy comes in, and they need to learn how to keep it expanded even when they're nervous or scared. Or other women just like let all their energy go out. It's like uncontained. Oh, do you need me? Oh. And it's just like it leaves them.
Yeah, there are holes in their energy, and everything pulls them, and they're not focused.
Exactly. So if we work with the energetic system, I can have someone go from no one's paying attention to them, they are the one everyone is paying attention. And I can do it with a woman in second.
And everyone can learn it, learn how to do it. It's not something that you are born with.
No, I definitely wasn't born with it. I was a very shy girl. I am an introvert, so it takes me a little warm up to, you know, get out there. I've always been a little bit of a closet performer, but I was so shy. I mean, it just was really difficult to get out. And, you know, now I've had some years of practice, but that's not my experience early on. And so anybody can do it. And the key thing is, like, I can, at our workshops, I get a lot of volunteers up in front of the room, and I do like the before shot, you know, like this is what she looks like and feels like when people are looking at her. And then I do some adjustments, and everyone's like in between wow or like weeping because it's so beautiful. And she hasn't said a word. And the difference between that woman and me when I get on stage is I can do it almost every single minute of that whole hour presentation where she's holding it. But if I question her or I trigger her or you know, she just forgets and goes into her pattern, she won't be able to hold it. So it's
So it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, like anything. And the good thing is I practice just like going in the car, and I'm practicing now, you know, I'm practicing when I'm cooking. It's not like you got to, you know, set time aside to practice. It's a few key words, a few key areas. We talked about body, energy, voice, not your words, but the sound of your voice. How you deal with your fear is the third key, and how that shuts down your presence or not. Shadow work, the parts of you that you do not want to own. And the sixth key area is warm up, which is knowing that if you're going to have a client meeting that's important, or be on a Google Hangout, or do a speech, or talk to your husband too about something really important, you want to be present before that happens. And there's that taking that 5, 10, 15 minutes to really come back into these principles and be there when that starts.
Yeah, I call them rituals, you know, before I go on stage or before I do a Google Hangout or anything else. Like, I have a few rituals for 10, 15 minutes to be inside me, to own my power, and it is learnable. It's even easy when you know what to do and you know what to tell yourself, and you have like keys in your body that you can symbol yourself and, you know, click them when you need something. Like I have a ritual when I do like this with and this sends a message to my subconscious that said, you are in your power now. And people don't know. I can sit in a meeting, I do like this in my chain, and I get inside and I get my powers if I feel like my energy is low in a few minutes.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's interesting you say it's coming back in. You know, it's coming back in, and it's so important.
So tell me, now that you travel all over the world, you know, I see lots of women that are really struggling in succeeding in business and dealing with money issues. It's an issue for women. I think it's something in the heritage or in the genes or something that we got. It's not who we are, but we got it somehow. Maybe when we were in our childhood, you know, that money is like this or power is like this. And we need to shift it, because what I feel now in the world, and I don't know if you feel it, I would love to hear it from you, that there is a shift of energy in the world, that women energy is more needed to do this shift in the world. Do you feel that also?
I do, absolutely. And, you know, in some ways we're succeeding already at that, and other ways we're not. You know, we are, I see a lot of women, I know it's different in America to Australia, let alone Israel. America, I think there is more, a little more courage, you know, sometimes like, yeah, I'm here and I have a voice and, you know, all of that. And so
yeah, you might have a woman as a president.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like that there's the courage to, okay, here's my voice, but you can see in the energetics and the physicality of that woman when I look at her or work with her, and I go, there's still that not ownership of the strength and the power and the authority. And so you get a lot of women who have got a really important message, but they get on and it's like, hi everyone, I'm so glad you're here, and you know, we're here to shine our light. And it's like there's no grounding of the importance of, I don't know, leadership. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making anyone wrong, but there's a
yeah, because it makes the people not take you seriously when
right.
you're doing that.
Right. Right. Or, you know, they're excited and they're inspired, but they're not doing anything. Or, yeah, anyhow. So I think that it really is important for women to own some of the biggest shadows that women do not want to do. There's a few of them that you can jot down.
What are the shadows? What are the, you know, 3-4 shadows that you see all the time when you work with women?
Yeah. The first one is I am superior. So we've been in a culture where men, the masculine has been superior. Yeah. And we are trying to come equal with that. But the shadow is I don't want to be superior. Right? That's not okay. And so for those of you that don't understand shadow work is the things that you don't want to be.
The secrets that we hide, even if we're not aware of them.
Exactly. They're very hidden in the subconscious. So most women are like, I don't want to be seen as superior. I don't want to be seen as like, I think I'm better. Mm-hmm. But that energy of I am superior is extremely important in leadership. And so there's a virtue in that of, for me, it feels like I'm not saying, oh, I'm so much better than all of you out there in the audience. You know, you need to really like understand what I'm, you know, it's not that. It's, I have something that I actually know and I am better at, and I want to share it.
Mm-hmm. So this is the difference. It's a difference between speaking from an ego point of view of I'm better than speaking from a place of wanting to serve in something that you are good at.
Exactly. And the integration of it's okay that I am superior in some ways and I am inferior, and I am going to say sometimes this is why I'm here and you're there. But because it's integrated, I've made peace and love with I am inferior and I am superior. It comes clean, right? It just comes clean. So sometimes I may not be thinking I want to be in service. It just is coming that way because it's clear, right? Versus I'm trying to show you how I'm better, or my ego needs a bit of a boost or what have you. So I'd say superior is one, greedy is another.
I don't want to seem greedy, like I want your money.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, if you come across greedy, you're not going to get anyone's money. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not being greedy. It's understanding what the virtue is of greedy. And for me, if I am greedy, like if I take and keep, like it's me, I understand the virtue of that is my cup is always full. I understand the virtue of that help me, give it to me. I will have a team that can always support me so I can do what I'm best at. Or money-wise, I know that I can enjoy my home and my lifestyle, but there is the only way I can make a worldwide impact if I have money. whether that's Mother Teresa fundraising the money or it's Oprah making the money, right? It's money is the way to impact. So if we're like always scared of being greedy, or we haven't done that shadow work, it's going to affect a lot. And the way to know if it's a shadow, for those of you listening.
That was my next question. How would you know if it's the shadow?
Yeah, so imagine if you heard 3 or 4 people saying behind your back this week, she thinks she's so good, she thinks she's so much better than everyone else. Or she is so greedy, it's all about the money. And you heard that people were saying that. How much would that hurt you? Would that cut you to pieces? For me, years ago, both of those would have cut me to pieces for weeks. And now they don't. People say it all, you know, they don't actually say think I'm superior, but some people will say I'm greedy. They don't understand where I'm coming from. And, oh, she's all about the money. It's all about this. And it's like, it's not. It's about building a business that can support women to step into leadership. But years ago, it would have really hurt me.
Okay, so what are the 2 more big shadows that you recognize in women?
Superior, greedy. I would also say on the good side, I am inspiring. You know, they're like, oh, I'm not that inspiring. No. You know, they don't step into that. And I would also say I am sexy. That's that energy of sexuality, which is life force and magnetism. A lot of women have shut down. It's not okay to feel that anymore. Or maybe it never was okay to really feel that I am a sexy woman. And again, hopefully, Orly, it's not coming across like I'm telling everyone to be all of this all the time, be a superior, greedy, sexy.
No, but what are you saying? That there are good sides to these qualities that we can use to our benefit as we accept them in us.
Yeah. I would go even one step further, that if you do not embody these things, you will never manifest what you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
So instead of hiding it, we need to go forward straight into it. That's what you mean?
Exactly. And I'll give you an example. And everyone, if you could write this down as a little practice, I want you to write down something that you really want to create, that you've been wanting to create for a long time and it has not happened. Just jot that down. What is that thing? The relationship or money and business, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Write that down. And then on the other side, I want you to write down the thing that you would hate to be called. You would hate to be said that you were, like something you just, no, I'm not that. Maybe that's greedy or needy, clingy, stupid. I don't know what it is, but you write that down. So on one piece of paper, one side of the paper, you've got what you're wanting to manifest and you haven't for a while. And the other side is a one-word description of a quality that you don't want to show people, you don't want to be.
Okay, let's say I want money and I wrote greedy on the other side.
Well, that would be an easy one. Can you see the connection, right? Like, yes. I want money, but if I've got a pool that, wanting a lot of money is greedy, that's never going to happen. My example was arrogant, and I wanted to be an expert speaker and a leader. So can you see how that was in polar opposite? Like, it's not okay for me to be the one standing up on stage telling people what to do and inspiring, because people might think I'm arrogant. And so I wasn't creating that for a long time until I did my shadow work of, I am arrogant and I am humble. I'm both. I have my humble moments and I have my arrogant moments. And the more I do my shadow work, the arrogance sort of more, it just is more matter of fact, you know, like, yeah, I'm good at that. Or no, I'm not good at that. There's no like, I'm so good, you know, there's just no cleaner, you know, if that makes sense.
So when you talk about this shadow work, can you give us an example of how we can embrace this? Like, if I don't want to be arrogant, how can I embrace it and accept this quality in me?
Absolutely, yes. And I don't know, Orly, are you giving them the free report about the 7 reasons why women make little money? And
yeah, I'm gonna send the link that they can download your booklet, your ebook. I read it. It's beautiful and it's very useful, so people can.
Because in that there goes over some other shadows that I think are really important for women to read that we won't be able to go into now, and just a little bit more understanding of how to work with this. But for the first thing that comes to mind is asking yourself, what is the virtue or the gem in this quality that serves you and serve other people? So let's take greedy, for example. That was your word. What is the virtue? Why is being greedy a really good thing?
Because if I'm greedy, I can have more things that I want, and I can earn more, and I can improve my lifestyle.
Absolutely.
I can have more money, and I can have more impact and reach more people in the world and do more.
Usually we're a little happier and less stressed when we have money flowing in.
Yeah.
And I think the greedy is like the also not drained, right? It's like it's coming to me, I'm filled up. That's a great example. What is the virtue of being needy and needing other people and being dependent on other people?
Well, I would say that for me to be needy, which is a hard one, I don't like to be needy. I think it's to learn how to ask when you need something, and how to be vulnerable, and how to be able to get no for an answer and not, die from it, or not fall from it.
Absolutely. Love that. And I would add, it creates stronger relationships when you're needy.
Yeah, when it's interdependency, when you're interdependent, and when you understand that you're needy and the other person is needy, you can build a really strong relationship, not because you need each other, but you can give more to each other.
Exactly. I mean, when I think of my friends, how attracted am I if they don't need me for anything? If I can't be there for them for something, there's a natural attraction to when we can offer something, and we're not that attracted to someone who's always like, I don't need anything. It's like, where is the vulnerability? And that's very important in relationships with men. For those of you that are in a relationship with a man or want to, men, the masculine is attracted to that which is needed. It's always putting its attention on that which is needed, whether that I need to fix something, or I need to put garbage out, or what do you need, or like. So a lot of strong independent women are caught in this catch-22 situation about, well, why are all these good guys going out with these bimbos who are a little needy? And like, so I'm like powerful together woman, and it's because we have disconnected from I need. There is a place in my life where I really need that. And it's a very vulnerable word.
You know, you could interpret it in a wrong way when you hear it. That's why maybe it can scare women, because they say, wow, you're taking us back to before the women's revolution, before we could stand on our own and earn our own money and be independent. You want us to be needy of the men. We don't want that anymore. We don't need it anymore.
Exactly. It's such, thank you for saying that, because shadow work is such a delicate and it's a pretty subtle thing, right? Talk about a subtle thing where you are both polarity. We are the yin and the yang. We are the fast and the slow, the patient and patient, the independent and the dependent. And each time a woman goes, no, I'm not that, I'm only that, she is not going to manifest what she wants. Period. She will manifest what she thinks she wants for a short period of time and then get burnt out, maybe. Or, you know, attract a guy and then he treats her badly or something. But you have to, and this is also for present, we're talking about that magnetic present, is you have to embody all of it. And we are attracted to women who, for some reason, we just feel that they would allow any part of their personality to come out if the moment calls for it. That doesn't mean Oprah or Hillary or anyone that you might love is showing us all parts all the time. But like Oprah's one of my favorites. You know, I just love her. She's emotional, she's powerful, she's goofy and funny, sensitive,
she's truthful. She's truthful. She's telling the truth. Yeah.
Sassy but serious. I mean, she's got so many polarities, and it's why women all over the world love her. They see all parts in her, her soft and needy and vulnerable, and her strong and powerful. And it just makes us all real, and that's very attractive. We want people who are real.
I don't hear you for a second. I didn't hear the
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You heard,
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you, but I think the line works. So, okay, we'll try to move on. We have like 10 more minutes, and I want to go and ask you to give us some tips. You know, we're talking about the feminine and of feminine. How can we, you know, after the show, how can I practice being more feminine and more, you know, more vulnerable or more woman, but still hold my powers with me? How can we do both in the same time?
Great question. Love that. Love that. So there is a place in your body that holds your power and your vulnerability at the same time. And if you can stay connected to that part of your body, a lot of it will just happen. And so that is your womb space. That's what we call it in Art of Feminine Presence. And the womb space is about 3 inches below the navel and back towards the spine. And I imagine right now, like either a lotus flower or a globe of light or a candle or something suspending deep in my pelvis. So just take a moment, everyone listening, to take a deep breath and bring your attention down into your womb. And what we're doing is we're going inside the body to feel if we notice sensation if we notice, yes, sensation. Now, some of you will be like, I don't feel anything. And others of you will feel a drop and, oh, that feels nice. And it's okay, whatever you're feeling.
Okay.
And
I feel a little tension there.
You do? Yeah. So some people feel, all sorts of things when we're reconnecting to that place. It's a little bit like, the heart area. I mean, most women are a lot easier to connect here to the heart.
Yeah.
They feel their heart and they share it. It's like, oh, I feel sensation there. But as you know, when we go into our heart, that can be powerful. But it can also feel vulnerable from feeling so much.
Yes.
It's the same thing with womb space, but we have as women disconnected from that place a lot more. And that is where the centered ground being of our power is. And so if you don't have a strong foundation that you are always home there, your heart sitting on top of it will open and close when it doesn't.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, I think there is a bad line. You said that the heart is above the womb.
Yep, the heart is above the womb. And if you don't have a strong foundation, like an anchor with your womb space, like I am home in my womb space, your heart will open when it feels safe and close when it doesn't feel safe. And open when it feels safe and close when it doesn't.
Okay, so this gives us the stability and the security.
Exactly. So
this is what you call a home.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't have to have a physical womb. It's just the space that is there, that every spiritual tradition, in its early phases, is all about this place.
Yes.
Of your being.
The hara.
The hara. Exactly. And so women are not that, I don't think men or women are great at being able to hold that space no matter what. And so a lot of our work, when people come day after day to a retreat or something, that over and over and over and over again as we practice it, because that's not there, the power's not there, or your vulnerability.
Okay, that's a great tip. So come back to our womb. Well, we're coming towards the end, and I want to ask you, when are you coming to Israel? Do you have any plans in coming to Israel? I think the women in Israel would love to learn from you and to know you personally.
Well, we don't have any plans right now.
I just planted the seed,
Well, this is how it the work expanded a few years ago, because it was going so well and it was making such change in women that they would ask me, can you come? They said, can you come to London? Can you come to Ireland? Can you come to the Netherlands? Can you come to Japan? Can you come to Australia? And we started going all these places, and it just got too much for me. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going all of these. Plus there's America and everyone wants it here. So so each year we do Australia always, and the US always, and Japan always. We've done a few in Europe. So I'm definitely open to the seed being planted. And if you're watching and you would want that, you need to connect with Orly, to let us know, because usually we go somewhere and there's 100, 150 women in the room doing this amazing process all together. And so it's expensive to get on a plane and come to Israel. But, I would love that to come there. That would be awesome.
And meanwhile, for women who wants to connect with you and have, learn from you, how can they do it? Can they do it online?
They can. We have a lot of great resources online. Orly's going to send you one of the special reports that we wrote on why talented spiritual women make little money and minimum impact and how to get over that. But also we have an Awaken TV episode come out every Thursday. So it's a little short video of me doing a practice, because I'm also practical inspiration. And so you can go to rachaeljayne.com and sign up at the top of the page, and you'll be able to then get the subscription for our free trainings that come out every Thursday.
Great. So I would love to you, really, if you can send me the link, and when I send the recording of this interview, I will send the link also, so anyone who wants to connect with you would be able to do it. So finally, do you have a message that you want to, to reach to the women in Israel and all over the world? Because, we are also international, and there are women all over the world who are connected to this show. So I would love to hear your message to women.
Absolutely. Well, there's a few, but what's coming up to share today as we close is the answer to your biggest problem or challenge or frustration is never in one place. The answer is not in one place. The answer is always in both. And so if you're a woman struggling with business and going, I'm trying all these things and I'm doing so much and it's not working, your presence, your magnetic presence and strategy has to go together. You need to be humble and I am really great. All the answers come from both places. And if anyone is telling you, you just need to do this, you just need to do this, and everything will happen, run a mile quickly. I really looking at both sides, personal and spiritual and doing, and bringing those two together. And that's amazing.
Love that. Rachael Jayne, thank you very much for being with us today and teaching us practical inspiration. And we would love you to be here in Israel and doing your workshop here. And we will talk about this and contact about this in private. But I think we did a great service to women here and all over the world. And I thank you for doing your work and sharing it with us here in Israel.
Well, thank you. I mean, you're doing exactly the same thing, Orly. Thank you so much for doing these interviews, for sharing women's voices, for inviting us, and just blessings for everything that you're doing here.
Thank you very much, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.